had a particularly disturbing instance once when I was in Athens. There's a huge square downtown, and I saw this man. I tell you, he looked straight out of 2,000 years ago. He looked like he was literally wearing the long sand-colored robe, tattered, torn. He had the long beard, kind of looked a little like Jesus, and he was sitting there frail, fragile. He weighed next to nothing. The entire section of his arm, the top layer of skin was missing. And the crying at this low-level cry plea that was coming out of his mouth, it just horrified me. And so I went across the street and I went to Starbucks, got my usual, came back, and he was gone. And I was so dumbfounded because this man, just to get up on his own would have been a miracle. And to get further than my eyesight in such a short amount of time would have also been very difficult. I sat down on a bench for a little while, maybe 20, 30 minutes, just looking around, hoping to see him again. And I didn't. So I went back to the hotel. It was time to go to dinner. So I just took my little bag with me because I felt invariably I'm going to pass another homeless person. There are a lot here. And so didn't see anyone on the way to dinner, 3 or 4 blocks. On the way back, my coworker said, "Hey, there's you a person." And I looked down and there's this guy who looks like he is on day 1 of homelessness. He was well fed, clean. He looked like a businessman sitting down on a mat. And I just was like, okay. So when I handed the man the food, he just gave me this pleading appreciation look like, "Thank you." And I laid in bed and I'm still so disturbed from the first individual. And I was just like, God, like, why didn't I get to give the food to the person who seemed like they needed? And why did I give it to this man who seemed like he didn't? And you know what? I don't know the answer to that, but there's 1,000 probably really good reasons God knows that I don't know. Maybe this man was on his last moment of hope for humanity. You just don't know that this man didn't just sit down and commit that nobody sees him, nobody notices he's there, and boom, someone walks by and shows him that there is still humanity in this world. Just sometimes it's just that kindness. When I lived in underground Atlanta, that was one place that I learned that people just want to be seen. We treat these people like they're not human. They're a subsection of humanity. And that's a real shame.